You should play Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. It's a rhythm game developed by Indie Zero and published by Square Enix on February 16, 2023. The game is the fifth title in the Theatrhythm series, with 3 previous Final Fantasy entries, 2 on 3DS and 1 in arcades, and a Dragon Quest title, also on 3DS. Theatrhythm Final Bar Line is amazing. It really is one of the highlight releases of 2023 in what is already a really good year for video games. It's even better if you're a Final Fantasy fan, but even putting that aside, the game is worth picking up. What I believe makes a great rhythm game is 3 aspects: a great soundtrack, a large amount of content, and of course, well-designed and fun gameplay. Final Bar Line has you covered for each of these. First, the soundtrack, which is where the benefit of being a Final Fantasy title comes in. Whether you're a diehard fan of mainline Final Fantasy or only have knowledge of the series through Smash Bros, there are so many great tracks you most likely already know that are present in this game. And even if you don't know any of these tracks, this game will help you fall in love with these songs. And you'll most likely realize what's one of the most special and important aspects of the Final Fantasy series. This game not only covers tracks from each of the 15 mainline titles that were released when this game came out, but also has so many more tracks from spin-offs and accompanying media such as Tactics and Advent Children. This leads into the second aspect, being the amount of content offered. Final Bar Line comes with 385 songs out of the box. That is crazy. How many other rhythm games can you think of excluding custom content that have that many songs? I looked and I really couldn't find any that match up. And if for some reason that isn't enough, there is a digital deluxe version that adds 27 more songs, as well as season passes for DLC that adds 93 more songs, pushing the total number of tracks to 505. Keep in mind, these DLC packs offer songs from other Square Enix titles such as Chrono Trigger, Nier, and so much more. The only notable titles missing would be Dragon Quest and Kingdom Hearts, which I assume are excluded due to both of them already having their own rhythm games. Less important but still notable is the 104 characters to choose from to build your party and take into battle. As expected, these range from all across the series, so you really can make your dream team. The last piece is of course the gameplay. I feel a great rhythm game should be simple enough that anyone can play, but also has the difficulty and complexity for people that really want to dive deeper into the game. Final Bar Line falls into that description perfectly. The gameplay is an established formula of hitting buttons when the expected action appears on screen. Red circles can be hit by pressing almost any of the buttons on the controller, such as the face buttons or triggers. Yellow circles are hit by flicking the corresponding direction displayed on your analog stick, sometimes requiring the use of both sticks for 2 directions, and green circles are hit by holding and releasing a button for the length of the time displayed. These green circles can also be combined with arrows to flick your stick when releasing, or movement where you must glide the line with your analog stick. The songs fall under one of 3 categories, which play slightly differently. The first is Field Music Sequence, or FMS. These songs are often field music tracks or non-battle themes and feature your party traveling and fighting monsters along the way. These tend to be less intense than BMS, but of course can still be difficult. FMS songs are also where the hold triggers, or green circles, feature movement. Speaking of BMS, or Battle Music Sequence, these stages have 4 trigger or note spaces displayed at all times. They tend to be more intense and of course feature battle music mostly. These songs have you fighting monsters or bosses one after another. Lastly are EMS, Event Music Sequence. EMS stages tend to be the most simple tracks to play and are meant more for casual enjoyment. They often feature FMVs or gameplay from the title they come from, and are usually reserved for iconic or vocal tracks. The notes also scroll from the top of the screen down towards you, kinda similar to Guitar Hero. You also have multiple options for playing these songs. Series quests, which is the campaign of the game if you could call it that. You unlock songs here and each have their own little quests or objectives to complete on top of beating the songs. You also have music stages, which is basically just free play. This is also where any DLC songs are accessed. And last we have multi-battle, which is online multiplayer battles for the songs. Of course, there is more to the game, such as extras or additional play modes such as pair and simple for songs, but I feel like I've given you the gist of what the game has to offer. If I do have one complaint, it's that some of the most iconic and what I believe to be most important songs in the series are locked behind the digital deluxe version. It's not too many tracks, and it's hard to complain because the game already comes with so many songs, but it definitely feels weird missing Eyes on Me, Melodies of Life, and Xanarkand especially, being a non-vocal track without purchasing the deluxe version. I truly feel that Final Bar Line is one of the best titles released in 2023, and this year has been stacked. The cherry on top being, this game is only $65 MSRP in Canada, and I've already seen it go on sale for even less. If you like rhythm games, Final Fantasy, and especially if you like both, then you should try Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. You won't be disappointed.